In this video, we're gonna fully break down everything about Astra Yao. We're gonna take a look at her full kit breakdown, team synergies, the best way to build her, and way more. Sit back, relax, put on some good Astra tunes, and let's do this. As a reminder, all of the content in this video is from the creator beta server. As such, all of the values and information may be subject to change for her full release, although pretty minor. Thank you very much to Hoyoverse for granting early access, and with that being said, let's check out the amazing Astra Yao. Our singing waifu is our upcoming S-rank Ether support unit from the Stars of Lyra. She is our first limited support of the Zenless roster, and believe me when I say that she is insane. Astra features an extremely high level of versatility and very strong buffs and bonuses that can work in pretty much any team composition. Let's start by breaking down her full kit. Her unique playstyle features on two very important concepts. The first idea is the Idyllic Cadenza state, which is probably the most important thing in her kit. Basically, Idyllic Cadenza is a state that Astra Yao enters after using her special attack. While in this state, all squad members' damage is increased by 20% and crit damage is increased by 25%. When you switch to another agent, Astra Yao will still remain on the field performing her beautiful song, but she will be completely invulnerable. However, an important note is that Astra is still considered to be on field and can benefit from buffs still. This also means that certain effects, like the energy regen from Rina's signature W engine, will not apply while she is on the field. But we'll discuss more of that in her best build section. The second important concept of Astra's kit is chords. The number of chords will change with the amount of energy Astra Yao has and is displayed right here below her agent avatar. For every 25 energy accumulated, Astra will have one chord. While Astra Yao is in the Idyllic Cadenza state with these chords, anytime the on-field character hits an enemy, a quick assist will be triggered. The number of chords you have will indicate how many times you can quick assist. This will trigger in two different situations. First, when any attack from the controlled character hits an enemy once per 3 seconds, or any heavy attack from the controlled character every 1 second. But it gets even better. When any squad member enters the field through quick assist, chain attack, defensive assist, or evasive assist, 25 energy will be consumed, or one chord, and the following effects will trigger. First, take a look at this big purple explosion on the screen. This is called a tremolo, and it deals ether damage. Also, when you see this blue ring around your player in the quick assist button, you can trigger a precise assist. This will allow that big purple tremolo explosion to be followed up by 3 minier explosions called tone clusters. These tremolos are considered EX special attacks. The second effect triggers the core passive Graceful Andante, which will increase the attack of both Astra and the incoming character by 35% of Astra Yao's initial attack, up to 1200. And you can extend the duration to a total of 30 seconds. From all of that, just remember that when a squad member enters the field by triggering a quick assist, parry, or evasive assist, Astra Yao will consume energy to deal damage, as well as grant all squad members damage and attack bonuses. Let's now dive into her full kit, starting with her basic attacks. Capriccio will perform up to 3 attacks forward, all dealing ether damage. However, during the third hit, you can hold the button to charge, which will draw in enemies and expand the attack range. It's also worth noting that after using other skills in her kit, you can hold down the basic attack button to go straight into the third hit. Admittedly, I didn't use the other forms of basic attack very much, but Interlude is used in the Idyllic Cadenza state. This is just a simple tremolo forward attack, dealing ether damage that will trigger a quick assist. If you perfect dodge while being in the Idyllic Cadenza state and use basic attack, you can activate Chorus. This will deal massive ether damage through multiple tremolos, and will also trigger a quick assist while being invulnerable. Basic Attack Finale is one of the ways you can exit the Idyllic Cadenza state. You will release a tremolo forward, which deals ether damage, and when you activate the skill, you'll get the buff from core passive Graceful Andante. Consuming enough energy with this will follow up with 1 tremolo and 3 tone clusters like we talked about, and it's considered an EX special attack. We already briefly talked about special attack, wind chimes, and oaths, and that's primarily how you'll enter the Idyllic Cadenza state. What's really cool about this move is that you can drag the joystick to enable different directions in which you move, which is just kind of a nice little added feature. And when you hold down the special attack button, you'll charge it up, which will draw enemies in and follow up with 1 to 4 tremolos, depending on how long you charged it. This will obviously also trigger a quick assist. There's nothing special with Astra Yao's dodges, just know that she has an evasive assist, so she'll only be our 5th character with one. This generally doesn't have huge complications, but it makes her so she doesn't directly synergize with Caesar King. The only other thing to note is that Astra's chain attack will automatically enter the Idyllic Cadenza state after use. When your decibel rating is at maximum, aka 3000, you know what time it is. Press Q to activate Ultimate Phantasian Sonata. Aside from doing massive ether damage, this is the only skill in the entire game that can restore HP actively, a total of 2,950 at max level. There's also a couple of extra cool things that happen with the ultimate. First, Astra will automatically enter the Idyllic Cadenza state, and secondly, the next 2 quick assists will be replaced by chain attacks, which will provide some better damage. As for her core passives, we already kinda talked about Graceful Andante. Just remember that it talks about the quick assist, chain attack, defensive assist, or evasive assist, leading to that tremolo and giving a huge attack buff. At max level, this is 35% of Astra Yao's attack, up to 1200. The math for this ends up being around 3,450, which is very easy to get, as we'll see in the building section. Astra Yao's additional ability is perhaps the most general and universal in the entire game. Moonlit Frenzy is activated when either an attack or anomaly agent is in the same squad. And this just states when you trigger that precise assist or basic attack finale, you will additionally follow up with 1 more tremolo and 3 more tone clusters. But here we go, the team synergy section begins now. Between her universal buffs and combat loop, core passives, and additional ability, Astra Yao is the most versatile unit in Zenless Zone Zero. But the best team in the entire game is Astra Yao, Hoshimi Miyabi, and Tsukishiro Yanagi, or the team you see here labeled as LOL. I mean, we already know that Miyabi and Yanagi are ridiculous in their own right, but now you have those insane attack, crit damage, and damage boosts from Astra Yao. Remember here about Miyabi's Fallen Frost points. You get 2 per trigger of Disorder. With Astra Yao causing all these quick assists, you'll be switching in between Yanagi and Miyabi way more frequently, triggering Disorder way more often. Obviously, this will mean more Shimosuke stance, which is that big OP move that Miyabi does, greatly improving the team's damage. Don't worry if you don't have Yanagi though, because my main account doesn't either. If you build your Nicole to have a little bit more of anomaly focus, you can still get those corruption disorders instead. Additionally, remember that Nicole's buffs are slightly different, so they will stack, mainly that ether damage and defense shred. But this isn't the only anomaly focused team that Astra will strive in. If you didn't roll Miyabi, you can use something like Astra Yao, Bernice, and Yanagi or Jane. It keeps falling back on that quick assist mechanic from Astra's kit, where you can still trigger a lot of anomaly disorders. But if you guys have seen any of my previous team-oriented videos, you know I like doing free-to-play teams for you to consider. I tested a lot more of the free-to-play teams in the attack side of things, rather than anomaly, but there's still some good options. One of the more fun characters in the game that seems to get better with every patch is Spin to Win Piper! Something along the lines of Astra Yao, Piper, and a support like Luciana de Montefiore, whose name is really fun to say by the way, or even a stun unit. Although, to be honest, those stun units will be much more prominent in direct damage teams we'll discuss right now. Attack teams include Astra Yao, Zhu Yuan, and Qing Yi for ether weakness. This team really focused on those burst windows with the enhanced shot shells from Zhu Yuan, and you know we love any time we get to use her. Another important note is that Astra Yao will help Zhu Yuan recover her shot shells faster, especially with those chain attacks from the ultimate. Next up is our fire damage team with Astra, Soldier, and Lighter, although you can also use Lucy instead. We also have the 2 Bellabog agents with Kalita and Mr. Ben Beeger. And yes, you do have to say his name that way because he is that cool. Something we need to mention here though is that we're getting a brand new limited S-rank fire agent very soon. In fact, it's the second half of the patch with Miss Evelyn, who is our Astra Yao bodyguard. Of course I will be releasing early access Evelyn guides in a couple of weeks closer to her time, but for now we know that she has extreme strong fire AoE damage. As for an electric team, you can use the current best attack unit in my opinion, Harumasa, who even by himself has a really fun playstyle. Last but not least, you could pretty much use any free-to-play attack unit as well, Korin, Anton, or Billy. While these teams were obviously not as strong as the limited, they still cleared Chiyu's 7 in plenty of time. As such, there's pretty much no limit to how you can use Astra Yao in a variety of teams. Now that we know those teams and Astra's full kit, let's get into what you've all been waiting for, the best way to build her. Starting with the W engines, her best in slot will be the one made for her, Elegant Vanity. Aside from being her makeup case, it's a very solid engine. This will give her 5 energy whenever a quick assist, chain attack, defensive assist, or evasive assist happens every 5 seconds. Also, when Astra Yao consumes 25 or more energy, the damage dealt by all squad members increasing by 10%, stacking up to 2 times. This will last 20 seconds, and repeated triggers will refresh the duration. Basically, it's 5 energy every 5 seconds, as well as a 20% all squad member damage boost, which is a pretty nice quality of life buff for Astra, and I would personally recommend this over Mindscape 1, which we'll talk about in a little bit. An important note here with her signature is that having it will change how you build Astra as well. Based on what we saw from her kit, we know that her best stats are attack and energy regen. She needs 3450 attack to max out that core passive. Once you hit that threshold though, you can start into energy regen being more important. If you're wearing Elegant Vanity, you'll have more than enough attack to hit this buff, and my Astra in testing had upwards of 3800. As such, you can then have energy regen become your main focus on Disk Drive 6. Aside from her signature, there's a few good options to have. The next best option is actually Nicole's signature, the Vault, especially at S5. Lots of good things going on here, and remember that Astra's tremolos count as EX special attacks. This will automatically give the squad the big damage boost, as well as the energy regen buff. Plus, the advanced stat is also energy regen. The next choice is Kaboom the Cannon. While this also has an energy regen advanced stat, it also features a pretty decent attack buff. Since it triggers whenever an ally hits the enemy, this plays right into Astra Yao's quick assist focused playstyle. I do want to make a little note here about Weeping Cradle though. It's very important to remember that Astra Yao is not considered off-field while in the Idyllic Cadenza state. As such, this means that Astra will not get that energy regen from being off the field. Let's now move on to the disk drives. If you were ever wondering why would I ever use Astral Voice, now you are in luck. This is now the best time to farm it because Astra's best in slot 4 piece is undoubtedly Astral Voice. Basically, you get that free attack percent boost, and secondly, anytime an agent on the team quick assist, there will be an 8% damage boost, which caps at 24%, a pretty decent chunk. As for 2 pieces, I personally liked using Swing Jazz for the extra energy regen. Alternatively, if you do have an energy regen W engine like we mentioned, Hormone Punk is a great choice for that further 10% attack boost. As for main stats, slot 4 and slot 5 should only be attack percent. Slot 6 should be energy regen, unless you need that extra attack to qualify for the full buff from core passive. Stat priority should be attack percent, then attack, then crit, equaling anomaly proficiency, which is better than all of the others. A quick note about our favorite little friends, the Bangboos. First is our brand new ally Snap. When allies trigger dodge counters, quick assist, or assist follow-ups, agent damage increases. Snap can also regenerate agent HP when 2 or more stars of Lyra are in the squad, so this will have to wait until Evelyn releases very soon. Alternatively, the other great options are Butler or any other Bangboos to restore energy. For those of you who want a little bit more power from your Astra Yao, let's dive into those Mindscapes. Mindscape 1 is called 12-tone equal temperament. This will trigger an extremely long-lasting reduction to enemy resistances, a total of 18% with all stacks. Additionally, when she enters the battlefield, she gets 1000 decibels right away, leading to faster ultimates. When she uses the ultimate, every squad member will gain Song of Protection for 1 minute. Basically, if you have this effect and an enemy attacks you, you'll grant 1 second of invulnerability. Mindscape 2 increases the attack bonus you get from Astra Yao's core passive. Plus, you'll get another set of those Astra Yao follow-ups, namely that tremolo and the 3 tone clusters. Mindscape 4 makes it so you can trigger the quick assist even when you don't have chords. Depending on what type of agent quick assists into the field, you'll receive 3 different buffs. Attack units will deal an extra 300% of Astra Yao's attack as damage, Anomaly will have 50% increased anomaly buildup on that attack, and Stun will inflict 50% more days on the attack. Mindscape 6 is a giant damage multiplier for tremolo and tone clusters, as well as a giant 80% crit rate boost. When you trigger that precise assist, which is that blue ring, Astra will automatically enter the 3rd hit of basic attack Capriccio with an 80% crit rate. Just remember that my personal recommendation is to get the W engine, then Mindscape 1, then Mindscape 2, and the rest. In review, Astra Yao is an absolutely amazing unit with a pretty neat playstyle. Her extremely strong buffs will be quintessential for almost any team in the entire game, reflected by her huge amount of team synergy. Her general combat loops are very straightforward and focus around that cadenza state with chords. She's pretty easy to build as well, just be sure to focus on that attack percent for the core passive, followed by energy regen. And there you have it for a full Astra Yao guide. Let me know what you think of her in the comments, as well as if you're going to pull for her. Make sure to like the video if it helped in any way, and subscribe for more Zenless Zone Zero content, especially the early access Evelyn guides coming very soon. Good luck on your pulls, and may Astra Wanters be Astra Havers. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.